Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I am Art Eftekhari. Welcome back to the Bookmaker Podcast. I'm glad you're here because it means you're ready to take your love of sports to the next level. And to reach that upper level, your mind, body, and soul must be one. Well, actually, I just got that line from a movie called The Last Dragon. It's actually a cult classic. It has its following. It's from the 1980s. It's about martial arts. If you're bored and need some time to kill, I recommend looking it up. Next, make sure to check out our website. You know the address, www.bookmakerinfo.com. That's bookmaker-info.com. I know you're ready to place your bets. We have all the links to the best European and Asian bookmaker sites, and we also have the United States-friendly bookmaker sites as well. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Make sure to download our bookmaker guide and read it more than once, because I want you to familiarize yourself with this whole online betting process. And you can always check back to our earlier podcasts to learn about the advantages of betting online. We're going to get started with the UEFA Champions League. And I must be quick to say, man, I really was hoping for Atletico Madrid to put in a much better performance, but they disappointed me. I know I was hoping for an upset, but man, Cristiano Ronaldo scored all 3 goals. Real Madrid with a 3-0 win over Atletico Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. That was on the 2nd of May. So clearly, Atletico Madrid will have a huge mountain to climb when they host Real Madrid at the Vicente Calderón Stadium. That'll be on the 10th of May. And when you look at that, you're thinking, okay, had Atletico maybe lost by a goal, you're saying, okay, they're still in it. Had it been by 2 goals, you say it's possible, not very likely, but a 3-0 loss. I think it's safe to say that Real Madrid have basically 1 foot into the final match that'll take place at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, Wales on the 3rd of June. As for the other semifinal for the first leg, Monaco, the French team, hosted Juventus and lost 2-0. Both goals were scored by Gonzalo Higuain of Argentina. And with that, now I'm finding myself at bet365.com to take a look at the odds. For Juventus versus Monaco, that game will be hosted by Juventus on the 9th of May. That'll be a Tuesday. For Juventus, the odds are showing 8-13, 9-2 for Monaco. Clearly, Juventus are the favorites. They won on the road, and I expect them to win or draw at home. And if you want to go for the draw, 11-4 would be the odds for the draw. The next day, which will be the 10th of May on a Wednesday, like I was just mentioning, Atletico will host Real Madrid. And the odds here, believe it or not, showing the same, whether you're going for Atletico or Real. 8-5 are the odds there. 12-5 if you want to go for the draw. So basically, I think it's safe to say that we'll see a final of Real Madrid against Juventus, and I think that'll be an entertaining one. But for now, who knows what will happen for these second legs of the UEFA Champions League semifinals. We're still staying on the topic of Europe, now to UEFA Europa League. Semifinals are taking place there as well. One of them actually already took place on the 3rd of May. Ajax with a 4-1 victory over Lyon. Those goals were scored by Bertrand Traoré, Kasper Dolberg, and Amin Younes. The lone goal for Lyon was scored by Mathieu Valbuena. 4-1 win for Ajax. They're looking good. They're probably planning on making travel plans to play in Solna at the Friends Arena in Solna, Sweden. That final for the Europa League will take place on the 24th of May. Lyon will host Ajax on the 11th of May. That'll be the return leg. When I'm taking a look at, I'm still at the same place, of course, bet365.com. Lyon hosting Ajax. The odds there, 3-4 for Lyon, 16-5 for Ajax, 3-1 for a draw. So clearly you could see that the odds makers here have chosen Lyon as the favorite in that match. And I must say, I think they probably are a favorite to win that game. Will be tough for them to eliminate Ajax. I mean, if they do win by 1 or 2 goals, it's not going to be enough. But they did get that 1 goal in Ajax, that away goal. And for those of you who aren't experts on aggregate scoring, that away goal could make a big difference. But overall, I think I like what the odds makers are talking about here. I think you'll see Ajax hold out, place, maybe park the bus a little bit if they get in danger, and I think they should be getting themselves to that Europa League final. Celta Vigo of Spain will be hosting Manchester United. That'll be on the 4th of May. The return leg will be on the 11th of May at Old Trafford in Manchester. But first, for the game that's on the 4th of May for Celta Vigo against Man U, the odds here are showing 12-5 for Celta Vigo, 11-5 for a draw, 11-8 for Manchester United. So although Manchester United are the road team, they are favored. Doesn't surprise me, especially when you got dangerous players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and, of course, French international Paul Pogba. So we're going to have to see how things go. But right now, if I were to make a prediction, I'm expecting a Manchester United versus Ajax final for UEFA Europa League. Now let's continue on the sport of soccer or football, depending on where you are and what part of the world you are in. Hope you're enjoying this, whether you're just relaxing at home or enjoying your commute to work. Let's continue now with one of the most exciting leagues, which is the EPL, the English Premier League. And right now, there is a race to see who will claim the 2016-17 English Premier League title. At the top of the table, you have Chelsea with 81 points. Then you got Tottenham Hotspur right below them with 77 points. And with that, here I am on Pinnacle.com to take a look at the latest odds. Tottenham actually will get things started on Friday, which is the 5th of May, or Cinco de Mayo, once again, depending on where you are. Tottenham will be playing away from home against West Ham United. So the odds here that I'm looking at on Pinnacle.com show 8.160 for West Ham United, 1.421 for Tottenham, 5.150 for a draw. Even though Tottenham are on the road, clearly they are favored. West Ham United in the 15th position in the English Premier League. I'm sure they'll just be happy to avoid relegation, but Tottenham will really be fighting hard for that victory. As for Chelsea, their game will come after the weekend, Monday, the 8th of May. They'll be hosting Middlesbrough. And I'm going to read these odds for you right now. For Chelsea to win, shows 1.170. For Middlesbrough, 21.920. And 8.300 for a draw. But look at that, what I said about Middlesbrough. 21.920. If you feel like living dangerously, you feel like maybe just taking some kind of a risk, maybe throwing a somewhat reasonable wager out there. You never know what could happen. It is the English Premier League, but the game is going to be played at Stamford Bridge, and I definitely expect Chelsea to secure the 3 points there. And before we continue, just want to remind you, remember on our website you have access to the Bookmaker 101 Basics, steps on how to register, bet, and withdraw. I know earlier I already mentioned the Bookmaker Guide, but I'm doing it again. It's available to download. So I want you to learn it, live it, and love it. We even have betting strategies as well as the A to Z sports betting lingo. Remember, I'm here to help you. I want you to sound like a smooth talker, whether you're at a casino or at the local bookie, or if you're just hanging out with your friends or hanging out with your blokes and you're just talking about these odds, whether you're talking about them in decimal, fractional, or American form. I want you to sound like you know what you're talking about. Moving on now, I'm actually at another website I just recently checked out, and that is 10bet.com. That is www.10bet.com. Yes, the number 10 is in there. And right now I'm interested in the I'm interested in the 2017 International Ice Hockey Federation Championships that will be taking place from the 5th of May to the 20th of May in France and in Germany. And the favorites here, no surprise, you got Canada, Russia, Sweden, and Finland as the favorites. I'm taking a look right now at the outright odds. For Canada, shows 2.70. For Russia, 3.60. For Sweden, even 4. For Finland, 7. For Czech Republic, 10. And for the United States, 11.00. For those of you not too familiar with ice hockey, one thing I want to point out is that the United States usually are not favored very much in this tournament because, as you all know, the National Hockey League playoffs are going on right now. And even for those, of course, the teams that are in the playoffs definitely are not going to release their players, but even the teams that have been eliminated or did not qualify for the Stanley Cup playoffs, they are not obligated to release their players. So that's why you usually see the United States ice hockey team, usually not be the favorites in this tournament. And as for the countries that are really, really low, have basically no chance at all at winning the tournament, you're looking at You're looking at teams like Italy, Slovenia, Latvia, even France, Belarus. For Italy, the odds here for them to win outright, 751.00. Obviously, Italy, not a huge hockey country. And of course, Slovenia right in front of them, 501. They're just a very, very small country. Moving on, now I'm back at another website that I mentioned last week, and I really like this one a lot. It is 888sports.com. That's www.888sports.com. Remember, there are 3 8s in that. First, I'm taking a look right now at the NBA playoffs. I know I've talked about the NBA playoffs recently a little bit, and you can get your information here on the outright odds to see who's going to win. But right now, I'm looking at the series between the Golden State Warriors and the Utah Jazz. Right now, what I see for Golden State to sweep 4-0, the odds here are 2.35 for them to win 4-1, 2.20 for them to win 4-2, 7.00 for them to win in 7 games, 11.00. I mean, I could click down and see what are the odds for the Utah Jazz, but come on, I'm going to be straight with you. I'm going to help you out. If you're big on basketball, you should know that the Golden State Warriors definitely going to be a little bit too much for the Utah Jazz with players like Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. We're going to have to really look at how things are going in the NBA playoffs as more teams get eliminated, because like I told you last time, basically everyone is expecting another NBA Finals showdown between the Golden State Warriors and the defending NBA champion, the Cleveland Cavaliers, led by the King LeBron James. We are getting closer to wrapping up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. But with that, I'm actually shifting gears a little bit. I'm still staying on the same website because I really do like this one. And I'm checking out right now the 2017 FIFA Beach World Cup. We are now down to 8 teams remaining. The quarterfinals are set to begin on the 4th of May. I believe the semifinals will take place 2 days later. The third place game of the final will also take place, I believe, 2 days after the semifinals. So right now I'm taking a look at the quarterfinal matchups. But first I want to look at, for the 8 teams remaining, what are the odds for these teams to win outright? Not a surprise that the Brazilians are favored 2-1, followed by Italy 3-1, Portugal 6-1, Iran are favorite have odds of 10-1, Switzerland 14-1, Tahiti 16-1, Paraguay 20-1, and the outsiders 33-1, Senegal. If you feel like living dangerously, maybe you want to put your money on Senegal to win the FIFA Beach World Cup. And as for the quarterfinal matchups, Paraguay versus Tahiti, 2-1 for Paraguay to win, 3-5 for the Tahitians. No, you know what? At first I was surprised, but then I realized, maybe not, because the Tahitians spend a lot of time on the sand. So yes, they are favored against Paraguay. Then you got Brazil versus Portugal, 4-9 for Brazil, 15-4 odds for Portugal to win. Switzerland will be playing against Iran, 27-20 for the Swiss to win. For Iran, an even 2-1. And the other one, Senegal versus Italy, 15-4 for Senegal and 7-20 for the Italians. So pay attention. If you're really big into beach soccer, you're definitely going to want to be paying attention to this tournament as it is winding down. And with that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. Thank you everybody for joining in. Really do appreciate it. I hope you are doing your best in taking your love of sports to the next level. I hope you're checking out our Bookmaker 101 Basics. And like I said before, you got to go to our website, www.bookmakerinfo.com. That's bookmaker-info.com. You know what to do. You need to download our Bookmaker Guide because I want you to become an expert in learning the advantages of betting online. I'm Art Eftekhari. Thank you for listening.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.